everybody, Suzanne Lyons here again. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm having such a good time doing these 10 tips. I hope you're having fun doing all these great exercises that I'm giving you. And wasn't that the funnest thing, having my husband here on Tuesday? Isn't he cute? Didn't I tell you he was going to be cute? Anthony's laughing at me. Right there. Anthony Gomez, by the way, is my wonderful camera person and director and producer of all of this. And he's laughing at me at the moment as I share about my cute little husband. Cute, wonderful, big husband, actually. And it was great. I thought what he said about possibility was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I hope you guys took something wonderful from that as well. You know, and that you're kind of really thinking about that and looking at that and that whole distinction of possibility. I think that's just one of the best distinctions that we probably would have dealt with in the past year since we've been together. Since when did we start? Last March. My gosh, and here we are. Yeah, it's been a long time we've been doing these. So anyways, so given that you're standing kind of in possibility, it's perfect. It's a perfect segue into what today is about in terms of tip number 6, exercise number 6, and it's declarations. It's creating declarations. And that's not something I used to do. I'd never even heard of it actually until, not that, I probably had heard of it, but I never took it, I don't know, seriously until, I would say, maybe 15 years ago, not that long ago. And I can't believe how powerful they are. I really can't believe it. I think I used to kind of fluff it off or something, you know, when people would mention it and I'd go, yeah, right, whatever, you know. But now I really get it. I get the power of declarations, of declaring something. And it's, anyway, so try it on. If you're used to doing it, great, continue and do this as an exercise, certainly, over the weekend. And if not, then try it on. You know, just give it a try. Just, you know, because I know I was a little critical of it years ago too, but just give it a try and you will be, I promise, actually, amazed at the power of declaration, of this whole distinction declaration and making declarations. I did I also did the booklet, obviously. I do booklets on everything on the 10 tips for designing and having your best year ever. And one of the distinctions in here is declaration. So let me just look and see what I was, because I've got some great examples. That's what I want to refer to here. But a declaration is kind of like, now, given you were standing in possibility, and we worked on that on Tuesday, it's time to kind of reinvent yourself in your speaking. I don't think we realize just how powerful our speaking is. I know we don't, because I hear people, I listen, I observe, I hear people, and they have no idea just how important it is to kind of what you're putting across. It's really all we have. It's all we've got to go by is what you're saying and what you're, you know, in your speaking and your word. You know, if you say you're going to be at the meeting at 9 o'clock, that's all we've got to go on, that you're going to be there at 9 o'clock. That's your word. So speaking is a very, very, very powerful thing that I don't think we really take as seriously as we should. It truly gives people a real indication of who we are. So who do you declare yourself to be this year? Who do you need to be to fulfill on the possibilities of your year? Given we created that 1-year goal and we talked about the possibility for the year, so who do you need to be to fulfill on the possibilities of your year 2012? This is not something that you already are necessarily, or something that you need to prove. Once again, it's not about proving anything or improving on something. You know, a declaration requires kind of no evidence. You don't have to look to say, oh, well, I need to have all these things lined up in a row before I can declare that. No, when Kennedy said we were going to put man on the moon as a declaration back in the early 60s, we didn't even have the metal to make the spaceships at that time, the rocket ships to go there. So it's all about, you know, putting it out there, creating it, and then fulfilling on it. But there's something about the speaking of it that actually alters who you are in the present that will help you fulfill on it, because it becomes an of course very quickly when you state what it is that declaration will be for you. You kind of expand into it, you grow into it very quickly. It truly is life-altering, honestly. I'm not kidding about that. And like I said, I was critical about this until I tried it on and it worked. So remember, your word has enormous power. So a declaration really is like a sacred saying. It's like giving birth to something that didn't exist before until you said so, until you said it. The moment you declare it, you're not the same person, I promise, anymore. It's like raising the bar for yourself. So I'd like you to write down over the weekend, over the next few days, at least 3. Come up with at least 3 declarations. And here's a couple of examples of people in the last couple of classes that we did on Launching the Future. Somebody said, I'm a prolific writer. Someone else, I attract money effortlessly. I woo investors. I close deals. I'm a magnet for great parts in top movies. I'm a person of integrity. I'm a powerful enroller. I'm an expert communicator. So these are just a variety from other people, a variety of people actually, even in the last couple of classes, and that I put in my little booklet here. So what is it for you? What kind of is going to raise the bar for you? What do you declare for yourself that kind of will cause that expansion? Once again, just kind of for the fun of it, that you want to take on for 2012. So come up with at least 3 this weekend. And that's it, guys. Okay, have some fun with this one. These are all fun. I love these exercises. Good God. Life-altering, but fun at the same time. So I will see you on next Tuesday for tip number 7. Okay, so have a great weekend. Have some fun with this. Play with this. Invite people to play with you on this, too. Maybe, call a friend and go over these distinctions for yourself and what the declarations are going to be for you, and ask them to share what some of their declarations could be. This might be a fun one to get some people involved in, actually, and might help you in stating it out loud to people as well. Give it that real kind of power in your speaking. That's it. All right. Once again, have a great weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday.